TerryWilson3.com.
This is the Terry Wilson, really?
Hey, Tony, this is Terry Wilson with TerryWilson3.com. How are you?
You personally are calling me back.
Get ready to discover, develop, and monetize your skills and talents with Terry Wilson.
What is going on, everyone? How is everybody tonight? We're trying something new. We're going straight to YouTube rather than trying our channel and page over at TerryWilson3.com/live. We're using YouTube chat. We're out there. We're on a limb. We're testing the waters. We're just going to see if this works or not. Hopefully it does. Hopefully we won't have any technical snafus. But welcome aboard, guys. Happy Martin Luther King Day. What a wonderful day to talk about making your dream a reality. You know, Webster says a dream is a series of thoughts, images, and sensations occurring in a person's mind during a sleep pattern, but the one we're going to be using is actually having a cherished aspiration, ambition, or idea. So, of course, the popular speech by Dr. King's I Have a Dream speech is what inspired today's show. But before we get into that, I am nervous. I am very nervous. Why should I be nervous?
Because your neighbor's in the house.
The neighbors are in the house. Callie and Michael Corbett, all the way from 300 yards away.
That's
it's
right.
Not even that far.
But it's cold outside though.
Yeah, so it
was a long way.
It was a track.
That's right.
You had to. So should I be nervous? Should I be nervous at all that you guys are in with us tonight, or are we going to behave?
We always behave.
Well, yeah, but bad behavior is a behavior.
That's right.
So anyway, and we got Mr. Reagan. How you doing, Reagan?
I'm here, and you can't see me this week, so everything's back to normal. It's all good. All is right in the world.
So Reagan is enjoying his position in the studio today, which is behind my monitor where I can't even see him. So not only can other people not see him.
It's a win for everyone, honestly.
So anyway, I'm looking at Callie motioning it, and I'm like, am I supposed to turn something up or something?
Sorry, I'm trying to tell my child to get out of here.
Oh, the benefits of working from home with children, isn't it?
Yes.
So I'm not the only one that has
Especially when one's 6.
Oh, yeah.
And should be in bed by now.
But the parents decided to come over and fill in for Lindsay.
That's right. Fill in.
So fill in for Lindsay.
But we came prepared. And we're professional.
You know, I don't even think Lindsay is.
Well, we had 2 more of these at the house, so we had to choose. But we figured if we're going to be with Terry tonight, we have to be like Terry.
You got to suit up.
That's right.
You got to suit up. And here
I'm actually kind of sad you didn't have one on tonight.
Well, I didn't. Mine are upstairs. Gina's got me so organized now.
I know.
So
it's okay.
I hate. Maybe I'll send one of the kids up and get mine, and
maybe
that way we can all match. Well, guys, we're in the studio tonight. It looks like people are already using the chat. That's great. Hey, Melody, good to have you. Daniel, good to have you on. Ernest Bruno just arrived from Cleveland, Ohio. Wow, okay. And you were down in Atlanta, it looks like, before. So good to have you guys on with us on this great night here at TW3. So we've got Reagan, we've got Callie, we've got Michael, and we've got someone that don't have a microphone.
Thank God. Once again, a win for everybody.
He can't even say hello, but he's in the house, and he's moderating to make sure that everyone is keeping it clean, keeping it relevant, and keeping it what? Positive. That's right. Absolutely. So anyway, tonight we are talking about making your dream a reality. And before we get into it, if you have any shout outs, let Reagan know that, and he will definitely get the shout outs going on. Of course, you'll see it up on the screen as well as you guys are populating the chat. And we'll be answering your questions a little later. So if you've got a question that you want us to answer, make sure you get that in as well. Real quick pause for the calls. Ring Central is one of the companies that we use at TW3 to monitor and host our call center. And you don't have to be a member of TW3 to get a Ring Central account. Matter of fact, you can go to TerryWilson3.com/Ring Central and get up to 40% off. It's a cloud-based phone solution that allows you to text, allows you to receive phone calls, send out phone calls, have your own 800 number, and have a fax as well. So go over to TerryWilson3.com/RingCentral and get up to 40% off. If you've got credit that's been dinged up, go to TerryWilson3.com/bad credit. They can offer you a loan. They can get you a better rate than most, and they can help you fix your credit. So that's a great resource right over there at TerryWilson3.com/bad credit. You know, on every podcast I say this, I promote it all the time because I truly believe, you know, you are the sum total of the 5 people you hang around the most, as Seth Godin said. So go over to TerryWilson3.com/free book and get a free book over at TerryWilson3.com/free book. And lastly, if you're looking for a home-based business and you're looking for a way to earn extra income from home, one of the things that we offer is our call center opportunity, where you can work from home, work on your schedule, work on, you know, when it's right for you, earn as much as you want. You can go to TerryWilson3.com/call center, TerryWilson3.com/call center, and see our opportunity to work from home in our call center and make anywhere from $750 to $1,500 per sale. It's a great opportunity to earn a lot of money and earn it on your schedule and on your terms. Tonight we are talking about making your dream a reality, and like we said, we have been inspired by Martin Luther King, as everyone has. And there's something that that famous speech, I Have a Dream speech, that people hear that you guys might have known this, and of course you guys are educated, went to college. I did not. I dropped out after 4 weeks because I figured out you had to study. But something I just found out about a year ago about that infamous speech that I want to play real quick, and I want you guys to pay attention and listen to something, and we're going to talk about it on the flip side here. So check this out. I want to play this for you real quick.
Go back to Mississippi. Go back to Alabama. Go back to South Carolina. Go back to Georgia. Go back to Louisiana. Go back to the slums and ghettos of our northern cities. Knowing that somehow this situation can and will be changed. Let us not wallow in the valley of despair. I say to you today, my friend.
Now, right there, and I'm going to pause it for there, is that Dr. King is reading his speech this whole time. That's part of his speech that he's reading. And you can see he gave a little pause, and there was a little bit of clapping going on and everything. And what the mic didn't pick up during this break right here is someone yelling, "Tell them about your dream. Tell them about your dream." The thing that I didn't know about was that whole part where he goes into, "I have a dream," wasn't on part of the speech.
Very interesting.
Wasn't written down. It was something that was part of a message that he had preached, going to churches and things, talking about, you know, one day the inequality being manifest in the country and all that, and this was his dream. But this whole time it was sort of a tepid response in his speech, and he's been speaking now for about 20 minutes, and everybody, you know, sort of like that, and he's just reading off his speech. And then all of a sudden someone, you know, that was part of his staff said, "Tell him," you know, and you can sort of barely hear it in the microphone. He says, "Martin, tell him about the speech or your dream."
So even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow,
see, he's not even looking at
I still have a
his
dream.
notes.
It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal.
And so I won't, you know, belabor it, but the whole point was, this was not part of the speech. If you'll notice, his head's up now. He's not reading, you know, and all of a sudden you can start hearing the audience getting more and more into it at this point.
Sure.
And it goes to, you know, what I think about, you know, it's hard to motivate others by something until you're motivated by it. It's hard to inspire other people with something until you're inspired about it. And so if you want people to buy in to a dream, you first have to buy into it.
That's right.
And, you know, haven't you seen it before, Michael? And because you're a professional salesperson, you're working in the medical field, but a lot of times enthusiasm is more important than the details, isn't it?
It is. I think, you know, helping them understand, you know, a lot of what I do and teams I work with is helping them understand why they're doing it, what benefit and value they're going to get out of it.
The big why.
That's right. Answering all of it. What's the purpose?
Right.
And
why are we doing this?
Exactly. Everything else will follow, and you can show them in any day with, as I do, a lot of numbers.
Right.
You can show them why and try to convince them.
Right.
But unless you really help them understand what it's going to be in it for them too,
right,
and maybe their team or their hospital, or the patient, however you want to relate to it, at least in the field I am, that's really going to be the key.
But you have to be sold on it first.
Right.
If you don't believe in the system, if you don't believe in the methodologies that you're presenting.
Absolutely.
And Callie, you've been in direct sales, working from home, and in the, I call it the pills, thrills, lotions, and potions. The world. Yeah. But you're sold on health and fitness.
You would know it right now, but yes.
No, you are. I wouldn't know it.
But yes, I do some direct sales and fitness, and I enjoy helping people, and so I feel like, even with this,
right,
it gives the opportunity to help them to do what, to make the income their family needs or whatever.
But you got to be sold on it first.
Oh yeah, definitely.
If you don't believe in it, I mean, you're reading a script.
Oh yeah.
And you see the difference right there from you heard the tepid collapse. He's reading the script, and then someone was wise enough in his counsel that he had trust in it. Tell him about the dream, Martin. Tell him. And all of a sudden that just got moved. I have a dream.
Right.
And then all of a sudden he's speaking from the heart. He's speaking from his belief systems.
Right.
And then that's when the magic happens. That's the speech that writers say he went up there as a leader, a national leader, and he walked down as a historical leader.
Mm-hmm. Well, and not negating any component of any part of the speech.
Right. It's not belittling anything. It was all great.
He's 10, 15 minutes in there, and the part of the speech that people start to quote is at that point.
Toward the end,
right. It's not all the before it, and I could be misspeaking on missing some of the parts before it too, but I dare really the main is at that point.
It's called I have a dream speech.
Right.
And it was all about equality in the workplace and equality in our, and so guys, if you've got a dream, it's got to be worth fighting for. It's got to be worth believing in. It's got to be worth going after. And I'm gonna move this camera just a little bit because I'm trying to get everybody in it. So man, that's some good stuff. So Reagan, we got any questions I need to hit real quick?
Yeah, we have a couple if you're ready for them.
I'm ready. Go ahead, man.
That's the first one we got. This was actually emailed in. Could a person join with only a cell phone or a tablet?
Yes, a person can join if all they have is a cell phone and tablet. But let me say this. A lot of our software, a lot of our stuff, if you will, is sort of it's web based. It's building landing pages and sales. It's what we call a sales funnel, which is an inside baseball word for you have to set up these series of pages and create these forms and to put on these pages, and we show you step by step how to do that. And we have found tablets just don't really work well when it comes to that kind of work. You can do it, and I've had people that has done it, but it's sort of frustrating. So we really recommend having either a laptop or a desktop. Now, that doesn't mean you have to. Our stuff will work with a tablet, but you might have some little idiosyncrasies and things that sort of hiccups that you'll have along the way that this video shows it done this way and you're not seeing it. It's because you're looking at it on a tablet. And so one of the things we would tell you is maybe consider working with your trainer or your recruiter to help you on some portions of the business that it really needs. It would be better if it had a tablet or a laptop or a desktop. Great question.
Cool. Ready for another?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, this one comes from Ronald. He says, I have a question. How do some make $18,000 after 2 days and other it takes weeks?
Oh, that's a great question, Ronald.
That was a good question.
And here's the thing. Certain people have stronger acumen when it comes to sales. So sometimes it's just some people are better on the phone selling, just to be honest. Some people, because of generational differences. You know, my generation was probably the last generation that came up without having to know a lot about computers. It was there, but you know, like my daughter, how old is Haven now? 8? Yeah, 8 years old. I mean, she can do things on a tablet and a desktop that Gina still can't do. You know, so the other point I'm making is, how quickly can you pick up on just navigating a computer and website? Some of my members, it takes them 2 or 3 weeks to get through something, whereas it's not that difficult. It's just they're not used to having to do some of that kind of work on a computer, so it takes them a little longer. So that's the reason. There's 2 tracks that a person has to be not expert in, but just moderately proficient in. One is sales, and one is technical. And I'm not saying you have to be this technical guru. What I'm saying is you've got to be able to navigate. For instance, I've got members that can't check their email. Now, and that's not being an insult. That's not, and you're smiling. Because, I mean, you know, certain people just...
How many people with the last name Corbett do you have in your system? I may know a few of those.
Not talking about you, okay? I'm not talking about you or Callie.
He wasn't talking about us.
No, I won't go any further. Yeah. But I just know some of those.
You're related probably to some of those.
Some could be.
You know, and so is receiving and seeing and downloading email and responding to it difficult?
For some,
it depends on who you ask, and that's the whole point. It's not, but some people find it. And so, Ronald, that is such a great question. None of this stuff is overly complicated, and it's a great point to Callie and Michael. You guys, Michael spoke at our conference, so you've been familiar with us and what we do. As far as the business side, now this is also our travel partners. Every time we go out of town, I mean,
and I'm the person that I've come to learn that when they want a scapegoat, they use my name, and this is fine.
Exactly.
I understand my place in life.
You're the heavy, if you will, in the business. But that being said, you haven't really done anything with actually doing in the system until a week or so ago.
That's about right.
And so, speak to setting up steps 1 through where you're at 4. I think is where you're at right now. Right? Steps 1 through 4, or steps 1 through. Yes, go ahead.
Oh no, I'm not trying to interrupt, but I've got a good follow-up question whenever you guys are done.
Good deal.
Well, do you want to start, Callie? Because
I was gonna say, I actually kind of was like, okay, so we're gonna do this, and it's not that he wasn't bought in. It's just that I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I have more time than he does.
Right.
So he did set up the blog, but like building the sales funnel, I watched the video and I was like, I think I can do this. And so I just had a page pulled up, and as the video played, I made what was said. And coming from a female who is, I wouldn't say that I'm not tech savvy.
Right.
But I'm not as
you're not tech-tarded, but you're not.
Right. But I'm not as tech savvy as Michael.
Right. It's all relative. All this stuff is relative.
And so, you know, I was so excited. I was like, Michael, I built the whole sales funnel by myself. I didn't have to talk to Reagan. I didn't have to ask Terry any questions. I did the whole thing. And so I went downstairs, and there were a couple hiccups, but I just went back and watched the video and fixed what I had messed up. And a female completed the sales funnel by herself without any help. So I think that the program is set up for success.
Right.
I mean, like, if you follow the videos, it's not difficult.
It's step by step, click by click.
Yeah.
But you've got to take the time to do it.
Yes.
And if you are of a technical background, that even knowing some of the language, like go to your dashboard,
yes,
or go and create a new page and copy this. Like, for instance, just taking something and cut, copy, and paste.
Sure.
A simple, thing that you do with computers. Mm-hmm. If you've never done that, then that's overwhelmingly, oh my God, but it's really not. It's just, it's just where you're at. So Ronald's question is, why does it take some people weeks, months, and it takes other people, a day or two? It just depends on what you walk in with.
Well, and I think even too, though, it's even, and I'll argue this about my own point.
Yeah.
With part of it too, us even getting things moving, is because, being honest, you know, when I've spent a day in an office or if I'm traveling, the last thing I wanted to do was just more work.
More work.
Sure. You know, let's think of it that way.
Well, you're in a different position. You're in a pretty high profile career.
Sure.
In position. It's not like you have to do this.
Right. But connecting it even back to, you know, dreams and I guess and aspirations or anything of those that you could talk about. You know, I think that's what finally triggered it too. You know, is
because you want freedom,
right? Is you know, some freedom to, and I'd say we have freedom today.
Yeah.
You know, we can do things we enjoy, but at the same token too, you know, prior to Callie being stay at home and homeschooling our kids, and you know, part of that decision was because I was always traveling.
Right.
You know, then she was the teacher before that, you know, and has always had the, I guess, drive to help people.
Right.
You know, so part of it too is that before we got into the weeds was, you know, just us getting on the same page of, okay, we're finally going to do something.
Right.
You know, and we can relate to this together too.
Right.
You know,
because you guys are going in and doing this together.
Right. We are. I mean, you know, we sort of, establish ourselves a little brand for it, you know, for fun.
Cool.
And she does a little bit of design work, you know, so she designed this little thing, you know, but
and your logo looks great. Did you design it?
She did.
That was awesome. I might have you redesign mine.
And then really you know, when it ultimately came down though to the technology side, you know, and you know, this goes into a little bit of just where I think everyone's comfortable, you know, and I could see the challenge of the question about if you didn't have a laptop or desktop. You know, I was chuckling with her because she was like, yeah, I put all this together. You know, I had one window open,
right,
and another.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's already too much on my screen. You know, downstairs in my office, I have 2 screens,
right.
You know, so I would have had one on one screen and one on the other.
Right.
I mean, it's not very expensive to have a setup like that,
right.
You know, but that enables that too. But really, I mean, I go through a lot of trainings.
Right.
I'll put it that way. I go through a lot of trainings, or I do a lot of trainings.
Right.
And you know, very easy to follow the videos.
So that I appreciate. I want to ask you that because you are in a consulting world,
right,
in the medical field,
right.
And so that's your world is training.
Sure.
Training. Here's a system. Here's how you use the system. Here's the software that in the system. So, you know, how would you rate our training in the back office? And give me the good, the bad, and the ugly. I don't, you know, I know my dialect hides a lot, but outside of it being coming from, you know, Gomer Pyle over here.
Well, getting out past the, okay, I have to take Terry serious in this while I'm listening to him. Okay.
I said that was hard too. I was like, listening to Terry for that long, knowing him was difficult for me because it's like, I have to be serious. This has got to be serious.
Right. But I think the easy thing too is being able to relate to this is so, you know, when I first, well, now we're going on about 2 years,
yeah,
you know, here in the neighborhood, you know, but for an online business like this, so I'll get to the question about training
sure.
here in a step.
Go right ahead.
And I'm just doing Southern rambling as we all do a little bit here. But I already knew I could already see credibility. Okay, because you know here's my neighbor that's running a
dressed like a bum, as you call it.
Fair, and I'm sitting there like, why me? You know, and no, I enjoy what I do, and you know, work for great people. But at the same token, too, you know, I see that okay, if you put your mind to it, you know, you can do it. But anyway, getting back to the training. You know,
so you knew there was something about this business because you saw me living in my underwear and making a decent living.
Well, and it works.
I mean,
and maybe not underwear.
And seeing all the trips we were going on.
Yeah.
And
if people that came to the conference last year, they may know I've gifted you something too. So we
don't have to tell everything.
Well, we're neighbors here. But I could tell that if you put time to it,
yeah, it
was going to work.
Yeah.
And so the thing with me and Callie would pester me about it a little bit more is, you know, well, well, let's go spend some time doing this, you know.
Right.
And my answer would be like, well, I had to get the passion to do it myself,
Right.
to finally say okay. You know, so but when it came to the trainings, you know, even though she had set up the sales funnel, you know, and we have this vision that eventually, you know, when we're taking the calls, they'll be able to, you know, speak with either one of us, you know, and we'll make that work on the back end, and support them together. But going through a lot of trainings that I do and developing, I would say it's a very strong training.
Okay.
I mean, you get into the details. At times, I think that when it's a little more complex item, it does slow down enough.
Right.
I mean, I will say too, I had watched some of your ones year and a half ago.
Yeah.
And I know too, you've recently redone some of them.
Yeah.
And I would say the ones more recently clicked easier to me.
Gotcha.
And, you know, maybe it was because second time seeing them. I don't believe that was the case. It was just much easier to follow.
Well, I'm probably getting them better at
and so I think, though, it was very easy to, and then with Callie, though, I think what was really telling for her is, again, she's, you know, she's not any lesser just because she's a female. So when she says the female, I don't want anyone to think that, you know, here she is in a room of guys. And she's having to, you know, she easily carries her own weight there. But when she was able to, so creating web pages or anything on the internet sites,
right,
she's never really done before.
So this was your first time doing anything as far as creating a web page, or
I had a web page for like teaching,
right?
But the actual like page was set up. I just had to go in and like fill in my information,
right.
For like my classroom or whatever,
right.
But no, I passed Computers 101 because I was married and my hubby did it for me.
Well,
you know,
but that's fair. I mean,
right.
That's fair.
And so, but when she was able to, you know, get through the detail, diagnose an issue, go back to the training to figure out what steps she maybe misstepped,
right,
on, I think, you know, to me was like, okay, well, she gets this, you know.
Well, and I feel like I could go to someone underneath me,
right,
and teach them.
Right.
Like, I feel like that the videos were great enough that I feel like I know what I'm doing. Like,
you felt like you were taught well enough that you could teach it.
Oh yeah.
Great.
Definitely.
See, that's the whole premise here, is the reason why we have the split the way we do is because we want you to be able to train your folks, and it's a very lucrative business. I mean, on a $997 sale, you're making $750. I know we got questions, so I want to pause just for a second and take some time to answer these questions. Go ahead, Reagan.
Okay, cool. We got excuse me. We got a couple duplicate questions, so I wanted to make sure we got to them before we got too far away from it. What is this business? Because there's a lot of new folks that don't know what it is, and it's probably good to start from square one. And specifically, would it work for insurance? Because we have a couple insurance agents on that want to know. So, which is kind of funny if you know the origins of the business.
Yeah, if you know the genesis and origins of this business, then okay. So, real quick, this is a lead generation marketing business at its core. Okay, but it's a lead generation marketing business and platform that then, because you have this platform, you literally can be in any business you want, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you're in retail, restaurant, direct sales, ministry, teaching, coaching. It really doesn't matter what world you're in. If you don't have leads, if you don't have people that need, want, desire, and can afford what it is you offer, you don't have a business, you have a hobby. And so what happened to me, long or the short, real quick, I was in the music business from 1996 all the way up until 2008 when the Great Recession happened. And I was over leveraged, and I was at one time pumping out 50 pianos a week out of a little shop up in North Carolina. We wholesaled all over the country, direct to consumer. We imported them from Indonesia, China, and Japan, warehouse them in 5 different warehouses throughout the country, and then direct to consumer. So you could go on a website and buy like a Yamaha C3 that was at that time $30,000. We could sell it to you for $15,000 because we were getting them for $10,000 from the factory, whereas most retailers were having to charge at a minimum $25,000 for that piano. So we were selling it at what dealers were paying for it and making a mint. And so that was my claim to fame. And the way I did that was online. I was doing online business. Well, the people that bought what I sold was people that were buying new homes. And I had a lot of contractors in Marin County, California, and down in parts of Alabama and Florida that would build these $250,000, $500,000 homes and want to put my pianos in them in our sound systems. Well, when we went under, I found myself unemployed with 5 children in 2008. And I had a preacher friend of mine said, Terry, with a mouth like yours, you ought to get in the insurance business. So I got in the insurance business. And what I figured out real quick is they could tell me everything there was to know about annuities, about term, about whole, about universal, about variable products. I even went and got my securities license. But one thing they just did not teach me how to do and did not know, I don't think, is how to generate leads. And so I'd go to them and say, well, how do I sell this stuff? I've got all this stuff. I know what it is. How do I sell it? And it was the same answer every time. Go call your friends, family, and foes. Bug the people at church. Bug the people at work. Well, who'd you graduate with? Bug your neighbors. And then
is it a warm or a cold lead?
A warm or a cold lead. And then go in and when you talk to them, say, hey, do you got 5 people you can write down? Right? And I will throw up in my mouth if I have to pester my friends and family. I just don't want to do that. And so I wanted to market online, but I was a captive agent. And so I went independent. And when I went independent, I started marketing online. And in 2 years, I've won awards. And Mutual of Omaha had me come in and speak. Forrester sent me to Fiji at Tony Robbins' place. And I was doing really well. And what happened was people coming out of the woodwork, how are you selling all this insurance? And I was like, well, I got this lead generation tool, and it just does all this stuff for me. And so it brings the people to me. And they said, well, can we buy it from you? And I was like, well, okay. And so I had to package it together and resell it. And so I did that for about a year. And then someone came, hey, Terry, could we resell your system for you? And when we recruit people into our insurance business, we'd like to also sell them this lead generation marketing tool and, make a little bit off of it. So right then I had to come up with a business plan that allowed me to make a little bit because it was my system and my training, but have enough on the bone that they would want. And because I come from the insurance world, I knew that those guys, if they're going to sell, $1,000 product, they need a decent amount of money off of that. And so that's why I said, okay, if you'll train them and you'll be the front end, I'll be the back end of the office, and then you can resell this. And as soon as I turned it into a product that could be resold, which is making it a business opportunity, our business exploded.
Sure.
That just took off. And so, yes, it can be used in insurance because that's how it started. It's a lead generation tool for the person. What kind of business is this? But because it's a lead generation tool, we can generate leads for other things. For instance, we market in the job space all the time. Why? Because we can get people hourly and salary jobs. We can get them freight brokering jobs. We can get them, craft assembly jobs from home. And because we can do that and get paid for it where they don't buy anything from us, we just send them somewhere. Those people pay us for those leads. And so it's a win-win-win. I generate leads. I say, what is it that you have in your hand? What is your dream? As we're talking about it tonight, what is your dream? What is your ambitions? What do you want to do? And then I'm not in this position. If you don't buy the TW3 business opportunity, I'm not going to make any money. I was like, based on the way you filled out this survey, because we teach our members to, fill out create this survey that people fill out. Based on the way you answer these questions, it looks like you really need an hourly job right now. Here's a way that you can go get that hourly job. I get paid for sending them over there and say, hey, I'd like, later on, if you want to stay on our list and you want to do something that gives you more freedom, because, Michael, this, you can make a very high income in medicine and in law and in a lot of different career paths. You can make a lot of money, but you might not have the freedom.
Right. We always got to answer to somebody.
You always got to answer to someone.
Right.
And so I get criticized all the time. All you're doing is talking about money from my Christian friends. You're just selling money. No, I'm selling freedom. Because I do make a decent amount of money, but I also have the freedom just to go to New York on a weekend when we want to.
Right.
And I don't have to wonder, do I have enough time off? I don't have to answer. That's what I'm selling. I'm selling freedom. I'm selling, if you got a dream and you want to pursue it, here are some tools and some strategies. And because it's a platform, because the product is not some pill, thrill, lotion, or potion, I'm trying to convince people to get into this or get into this. I'm just saying here is a method to generate leads, and then you go into any business you want. It makes it wildly lucrative, and it makes it recession-proof because this business started back when the economy wasn't doing so well.
Sure.
When the economy was doing bad, people needed jobs. I was able to help them. The economy is doing really good right now. People want to make more money and have more freedom. I'm making money now. I'm not employed anymore. But, I'm tied to a desk. I'm tied to a cubicle. I'm tied to this calendar that says I can only have so many days off. Mm-hmm. Well, let me show you something. So in either economy, our business works. So great question, Reagan. What's the next?
Cool. We got another one lined up. But before we ask that, I actually wanted to just give everybody like a sort of a heads up. Excuse me. Some of the questions that get removed, it's nothing personal. We just try and keep tech questions for Wednesday nights because it bogs down the chat a little bit. And the other thing that gets removed is personal info. So if you send out like a phone number or an email, we're going to remove that just for your own protection. So anybody that got something removed, it's nothing personal, but just trying to help you out.
Got you. And this was one of the reasons why we were trying to figure out if this public chat would work or not, because we don't want to be responsible for people exchanging personal information. Sure. And we don't want people, spamming or doing anything like that or trying to cross promote.
Yeah, normally we can sort of moderate it because we see it first, but now that's sort of out in the open. You might get something removed. It's nothing personal. Our next question was, could you go into some of the packages? Like, I know there's 3 different packages, what each one's for, and sort of what people should be looking at and what to buy if they decide that.
Absolutely. So the 3 packages are basically this. The first package is what we call our sales rep and trainer package. This is for the person that says, I need a business opportunity. I don't have a product. I need something to sell from home. Sales rep and trainer. Then you've got that insurance guy, that real estate guy, that direct sales guy, that person that's in MLM, network marketing, restaurant, retail, it doesn't matter. Terry, I've got a product to sell. I just need a lead generation tool to generate leads for my existing business. That's our plus package at $14.97. And then you've got that guy that's a broker that says, Terry, I've already got sales agents under me. I'm an insurance broker. I'm a real estate broker, or I'm a sales organization over here doing this. I need something that I can generate leads for my own business, generate leads maybe making money for you. I'd like to also be able to generate leads for third parties, what we call our referral marketing partners. I'd like marketing incentives. I would like residual income. In other words, I want to make the most money that you can make in this business. That's our elite package. I see Gary's on there tonight. How you doing, Gary? With Gary, for instance, he's elite member, and Gary had a $20,000 month last month, and he's had $10,000 weeks, and I think, is Mark on tonight? I think I saw Mark a while ago.
I think I saw him earlier on.
And Mark's an elite member, and then Lindsay is elite member, and Michael and Callie are elite members, and they're getting started, and they're going to be right there with them. And these are guys that can make some serious money. I think Lindsay said that her land yacht that Justin bought her, and
all the features that go with it,
and all the features, the inflatable tire from the app, and all that.
Warns that you're going off the road.
Warns that you're going off.
Poor Lindsay, she's not here to.
She's not here to defend herself.
That's right.
But we missed you, Lindsay, and want you back. But she was so funny. She is hilarious. I got a story. My sister calls and says, "What have y'all told Mom when she was down for Christmas?" Because she spent about a month with us, or 3 weeks, from December 15th to January the 5th. I said, "What are you talking about?" She said, "Well, she almost broke her wrist. She sprung it real bad, and they thought she might have fractured it, but she didn't. And so she was in a lot of pain." And they wanted to prescribe some pain meds, and she said, "No, give me that CBD oil."
Gosh. Well, that or depending upon this house too, Silver Soul, you could have done that too.
So. I said, "Yeah, you sent our conservative mother down here, and we turned her into a free willy-nilly hippie." Thank you, Lindsay. Thank you, honey. Thank you. So turning my mom into, "I want some CBD oil." Good night. Oh my word! So good stuff. Hey, good to have you on, Mark. Lewis, good to have you on. Christy, good to have you on. Ronald are the best money-making options, all for elite members. Well, that's where the top dollar is going to be, Ronald, because you got residual, you got passive income, but you've got, you can just start in steps 1 through 6 as a sales rep and trainer, building that funnel, generating leads for people that need a job or want a business opportunity. Either resell the TW3 package and make your money. You could start at the plus level and do the RMP, which is the passive income, and selling TW3 and generating leads for whatever existing business. But the big money is in the elite package, and that's where you get to do all of that. Plus, you get direct contracts with these referral marketing partners. You get your own podcast software like this. You get, a lot of other training and stuff that goes along with that. and there's some serious money. So yeah, Ronald, if you've got a guy, and here's the way, I mean, I just break it up in money. You got a guy that says, hey, I want to make 40, 50 grand a year from home, sales rep and trainer. I want to make 100 grand a year in my existing business, maybe doing some stuff you want to do and some side stuff. 100, 150, then that's your plus. I'm a 250,000 and up. That's your elite, because with the elite member, I mean, I've got members that are making 10, 15 grand a month just on residual. He said, how's that? Because every package we sell that I just went through a minute ago, each one of them has a $97 a month admin fee. Okay. That admin fee for elite members is commissionable. They get $50 of that. So you take greenbacks, you take Quackenbush. It's on here. That's Mark's new name. I'm calling him Quackenbush from now on. You take what can we call Lindsay in something with the CBD oil? We need something on that, because
think about it.
What's the guy from Jamaica that the Bob Marley? We're gonna call her Lindsay Marley. We talk about Lindsay Marley.
Well, and I think though too, like as you were saying though about even the pricing, Terry, is I was watching one of your videos last night, that was related to, just some ways to capture the audience. Mm-hmm. And so just, or close the sell. Let's put it that way. Close the sell, because that's what I think is, even good for what you have is you have videos showing examples of how, good way to have conversation on the phone, to lead people down the path of actually getting it if they so decide to go there. But, talking about just the different levels there, and, you may say, you may be listening today, well, I can't do the top one, well, I can do the middle one. I could do just the sales rep and trainer, right. But I think the honest thing that you have about your, the pricing structure is, if I come in and buy the low one, and then a few months, 6 months, however long, ultimately how much time you want to devote to it.
You can upgrade. You
can upgrade, and you're getting the credit, if you will, of what equity you've already paid in.
Right.
So it's not like you're paying in once and then paying in twice.
Starting all over.
Exactly. And it's not that the features are different.
Right.
You're getting additional features, right, but those base features are still the same.
But you're never starting all over.
Exactly.
Either from the financial side or the technical side or even the training side.
Right.
It's just adding on to what you already know.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point. Excuse me. Bam Bam. What's Bam Bam doing? Is he chatting? Bam, we did this for you, by the way, because you and your pure chat was always just commenting right along with us, and no one could see. I mean, he is just like right in there with us. But in the pure chat, no one could see it. I said, we're going to do this for Bam Bam, just so that when he comments, everybody can play along. Daniel says, if you come in as a SRT, then you get 5 people to buy SRT, then you upgrade to Plus. Do you then get the $50 a month commission? Not until you get to the elite level, and then once you get the elite, all new business from then on out is commissionable. None of the business you write as a Plus or a rep member is commissionable until you get the elite level, and then from the business you write as an elite member thereafter, you get the $50 a month admin. So yeah, so that's one of the reasons why people go ahead and jump on the elite. If you're in this for the long haul. Here's the thing. If you want to make money and you've got the resources to spend on the elite package, you're better off going ahead and getting the elite package. I don't want you to think that, you're better off getting the sales rep. It's just we have that as a place to get started if you need a starting point, and we try to fix it in a way where you're not losing too much space there. Greenbacks is here. Good to have you on, Gary. So what other questions we got, Mr. Reagan?
Looks like we've hit the bottom of the questions, but I know you had some questions for Michael and Callie. I wanted to make sure we reserve some time for that.
So Michael and Callie, how long have y'all been married?
This seat just got a lot hotter.
Such a pause.
I know the answer to that question.
Let's see. We're going on, I believe, almost 15? 14.
14.
We're going on 15, though.
No, we'll be 14 in June.
Okay, sorry. Feels a little longer to me than she says.
Ease up, boy. Ease up. I'm just telling you. Telling you.
The good news is I have a safe neighbor house. Yeah. So if I have to stay over here this evening, I can.
This is called the dog house.
Yes. So, but no, the 14 years, we got married, I guess, nowadays, looking at this generation, we got married a little younger, I guess you could say. Between senior year of college, but that was because the career path I was taking.
Right, in the medical field, yeah.
So we got a year under our belt before we started more exciting things like medical school.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So we made that a purposeful decision.
And you're a teacher.
Yes.
That's what your profession is, but you've chosen to leave the work world and work from home and been in different businesses, work from home businesses. And I don't want to mention any because I don't want to promote nor disparage, because they could take it either way.
Okay.
But out of the ones you've been in, and they've been in the health world, how would you compare just your few weeks in TW3 as far as what you see versus what you see in some of those traditional work from home businesses that you've been exposed to?
I feel like with a lot of the other ones, you're just kind of thrown in.
Right.
Like, you're not really given any training on anything. I mean, this is the product. This is what we sell. How has it helped you? But is that actually going out and teaching others to sell that product or to be invested in that product? There hasn't really been any kind of background. In my businesses, there hasn't been any coaching from anybody
coaching
else.
On just actually how to sell the product.
Right.
So they teach you about the product.
They teach you about the product, and people, and especially in fitness, they see what you hear and where you've gone to. So they've seen your transformation in fitness. And so, like, for instance, in the first 3 months of being in as a fitness coach, I lost 30 pounds. And so everybody's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I need in on this. I need in on this. And so, but that again is that's your warm market, because it's your friends. It's the people that see you. And so they want in on that. But then once your friends have joined and you're to that cold market,
that's
what do you
do? That's where it gets hard, right?
Right. And so there's been no kind of training on that. So I kind of feel like some of my other businesses opportunities have kind of fizzled out at that point, because
it's all contingent on your warm market.
Right.
Yeah, because they don't give you in a way to
get outside it.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, you're just having to rely on, hey, can you talk to someone? Can you let me talk to them, et cetera? And
right.
It's a cold call at best.
And guys, that's the thing you'll hear for you guys that's listened to my podcast for many years. You'll hear me quote this thing by Forbes all the time that says 98% of home-based businesses fail, and they attribute to the fact of what you just isolated, that they're all contingent upon networking. Mm-hmm. It's a network marketing business, which means you got to sort of have your friends, your family, and your foes.
Sure.
And there's no means or method or mechanism to get outside of that. Mm-hmm. And so I think, what you have run up on is exactly what we hear from a lot of guys as far as, I love the product. I love this. I love what it does for me as far as health. Mm-hmm. I love that. But just it being a viable business, I don't see a way of getting past this plateau right here. And there's very few that can do that.
Well, I was going to say, even watching your training and building the sales funnel, like already in the back of my head, I'm like,
I could use
but
this.
I can take this and I can go over here and I can already start generating leads for how to get on, people to come for this, my health business. And
well, see what a lot of people do that's in the health thing, and they do like the insurance and real estate. They co-op. They combine this. It says, I will get you in this business, health business over here, and I will provide you a lead generation tool that you don't even have to call your friends, your family, and all that. And then you sell them the plus package.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And you get them going. And then you've got a viable business.
Right.
Well, and I think too the components here of the system is that it can be used in multiple ways.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
On some of these other work from homes, it's
niche.
It is.
You're in this.
Here's what you're doing.
Right.
It's this aspect. If you want to go here, that's not for you here.
Right.
Just because we don't do that. And that's fine. You could argue that that's a point of a lot of just industry in nature.
Sure.
I mean, if you're in the auto industry, it's the auto industry.
Right.
If you're in the healthcare industry, it's the healthcare industry.
But that question that came in early, Reagan, and you guys heard it, what kind of business is this? That's the hardest question to answer in this business because
well, it's not pigeonholed.
Right.
Exactly. I mean, you can, if you want to come in and resell the system, I mean, sure.
Yeah.
Terry's going to let you resell the system until you start not reselling it trustworthy
or properly.
And that's right. And then there's some control for that.
There's some recourse.
I mean, because ultimately
we got to protect the shield,
right? And your personal name's attached to it.
Right.
But I think that means a good bit too. But then too, if you want to use it for your own, great. If you just, there's a myriad of things you can do. But it ultimately comes down to, I mean, any business nowadays has to have leads.
Yeah.
And so whether you want to help others establish their business or enhance it, or you create your own. It's there.
Melody I saw this pop up on screen. Says, does Terry have a credit repair program? One of our referral marketing partners is a credit repair company. And matter of fact, when you heard me on start out the show tonight, one of the things I used was our bad credit sponsor. And what that is a referral marketing partner that people go over and get free coaching and stuff. And just for sending the lead over there, I get $50.
Well, someone actually earlier on had asked how they can use the system to build their credit repair business.
Well, then, then you don't use the RMP link that would come in your elite package. You use your own. See, that's the whole thing,
right?
I let my securities license, I let my insurance license, I let everything go back. Do you know why? Because I found that I know insurance, I know how to market insurance. I can just generate leads and sell those leads to State Farm, to Nationwide, to Mutual of Omaha. All these companies, they'll pay me $15 to $25 per lead, and I don't give a rat's rear whether these people buy insurance or not. And more importantly, if they buy the insurance, I don't care if they keep it. I got my money. It's their problem.
Sure.
And that's the beautiful thing about being in the lead gen business than being in the producing business as an agent, and I'm not trying to disparage. I mean, I love my agents and I love people that are in that. That's a tough business. But you guys know what chargebacks look like. The merry-go-round you get on when you're selling life insurance, especially. You sell it today, the transmission goes out of the truck tomorrow, and all of a sudden, well, we can't afford to pay this term premium, so we're going to have to let our life insurance go back, and then all of a sudden you got to charge back. So it's a difficult business to be in. We got any other questions? I saw one go through in the corner of my eye while we was talking. The guy was wondering if he was going to get his questions answered, and so I just want to make sure.
Yeah, he was asking about a specific ad that I don't know what ad he was looking at, so it's kind of hard to give details about his ad. He said it was a bad link or something, and then he had sent that in a couple times, so it auto timed him out because it was the same question.
Well, yeah, if you got a link, if anything, here's some things that would cause a bad link if you're going to our website. Let's say, for instance, you were going to look for a lending opportunity, and you click on a link on my website or even one of my members' websites. If you don't go there, it could be that the state that you're in, because all the way the software works, it tracks the IP address that you're coming from. Well, that state might not allow that particular type of lending.
Sure.
Or that particular service, or it's just not available. So it'll go to a bad link, not available. If you go to, like, sometimes someone will say, hey, I clicked on your hourly and salary opportunity, and it said 404 not found. Well, it might be that particular company is not hiring in that particular state right now because they don't have anything.
This one actually said your call center link sends me to a job search engine. So once again, it's kind of like we're not entirely sure where that ad was from, if it's even us. You know what I'm saying? So
you mentioned it at the top. I'll do a quick. Let's test.
TerryWilson3.com/call center. See where that takes you, Michael.
In the meantime, we did have another question, which I thought was good. And Mark
Hit me like James Brown.
Mark actually spoke a little bit on this. This one's from Christy. It says, has anyone started at the cold calling level affiliate and work up to the elite level? It'd be encouraging to hear about. And Mark has actually said that he's had a few start at that level, and they've made their way to Rep and Plus. So he could definitely see them becoming elite. Elites in the future. Mark
has had some great results in the affiliate program, and the sales affiliate program is where people join TW3 and they don't buy the program. The way our system works is we've got 3 levels as memberships, and then we've got one that's a sort of like if you're a trainer, which means you've got one of our packages, you can recruit what we call affiliates. Did it go?
It did.
Okay.
I just did TerryWilson3.com/call center, and it
went right.
Comes up to the TW3 call center 10-minute orientation.
So it's either he's typing in the wrong thing, or it's
or it's not our link.
Yeah, it's not our link.
We have duplicates, so
yeah,
it's kind of hard to track that down.
Don't know what the deal is there, but Mark's had incredible results. I will tell you the numbers. It's always better to be a member because just like Callie isolated here a minute ago, the problem with most home-based work-from-home businesses are simply that, once you get out of your warm market, you're left to cold calling. That's a tough business. Mm-hmm. It's easier to sell when you've got people calling and pulling on you rather than you calling and pulling on them, because you're chasing them at that point, and you lose the leverage and the psychology of that engagement. So it's a little tough.
Cool.
What else, Mr. Reagan?
I think we've hit the bottom of the list still.
We have hit the bottom of the list.
Granted, I've already said it once, but I'm going to say it again. We don't take training questions, like specific tech questions. We try and save those for Wednesday nights because it just keeps it centralized. And there's also info that we don't give out on Monday night training. So we're going to have to remove any questions that aren't specific to Monday night trainings, I guess.
And if they're asking a little bit, Wednesday night is... member training?
Membership only training. That's where you can ask me any specific technical question, marketing question, or anything, and we can address that then. Because keep in mind, what are we selling here? At the end of the day, what are we selling? Information. We're selling information, and so there's some things that we just don't give out.
Sure.
Because, that's part of the package. That's part of the training that you get.
Well, it's protecting the business.
It's protecting the business because it's undermining exactly what the people are reselling if we just start giving information away, which we want to be as helpful as possible. And but some things we just can't get into on a public training, and so I apologize for that, guys. But Callie, you isolated a very popular problem that people have in home-based businesses, and that's just finding the way to get outside of that warm market. So you've got your funnel built, you got the blog
built, got an About Me page built, we've got the funnel established. We just haven't put it out there anywhere yet.
Yeah. So you haven't posted any ads yet,
right?
Or
And that's probably based upon my my degree of obsessive compulsiveness. There's few things that I'm going to get that towards. I usually let that rely with Callie.
Yeah.
But I guess when it comes to certain things that are detailed,
right,
I'm just going to be very picky about it.
Sure.
So we're spending a little bit more time probably on that.
Just be careful. Yeah, that's fine.
Then but at the same token, I guess we can spend a little bit more time on it if we want at the moment.
Well, you're not up against the wall. Oh my gosh.
Right. And so, but we have those things built. I was looking at a few additional ones last night, just about referral marketing components or the RMP partners, just even taking a few steps just to see what all those additional are about. And I'll go back and look at them again. But
go into your back office and go into your elite training module. Go into the RMP module of the elite.
Right.
Look at how I use some of my RMP links and services to aid and abet and monetize my recruiting process.
Sure.
Look at that, because then what happens is you make money off of every lead you generate, whether they get anything or not. And the reason you want to do that is because once you start, whether you use Facebook ads, LinkedIn, Craigslist, or whatever you're using to start using that ad copy to place the funnel, there's an expense, right? To place that ad. And so you don't want this thing to be where you're just constantly pouring money into it,
right,
and not getting a return. So you're not going to make big money at first on referral marketing, but if you can at least cover your cost and make a little bit, then what happens is you can exponentially start filling your funnel,
right?
And it's just a numbers game. And I'll tell you guys, and you guys, I'm giving them their first one-on-one, so you can listen in.
The inside of Terry.
The inside Terry. If you will commit to getting 25 processed leads a week, you can start expecting in 3 to 4 weeks, I would say, anywhere from $750 to $1,500 a week.
Sure.
But you need to get 25 process leads. And what is process? It means they've gone through the apply, they've watched the orientation, and they decided, I want to do this, and they filled out that survey, and then you have spoken to them.
Right.
That's a fully you got to do 25 of those. But the numbers bear out that you're going to make one sale out of 25. Well, at least you can make 750. Most you can make 1,500, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. So our sales cycle, you get into, you know this, our sales cycle is usually 2.5 to 3 weeks.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. The moment you start doing that, that's our numbers.
Right.
You know, it could be shorter for you guys because you're rock stars. It could be longer just because of whatever. But, you know, that's the average.
Sure.
So just start doing that. And, I mean, you could be on CBD oil, you know, and doing.
We'll leave that to Lindsay. I'll probably just result to chocolate milk and maybe some runts or something, you know, is where I'll fall to. You know, middle-aged man still doing those, but that's cool.
Nothing wrong with that.
I got to pass them along to my children so they know what's cool, even when they get a little older. So, but no, I think that, you know, that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. So any other stuff coming in?
Yeah, Gary said he's got some clients that are really excited for our conference in Greenville. So you want to talk a little bit about that?
Thank you, Gary. I really appreciate it. Greenbacks, Quackenbush, Lindsay Marley, Michael and Callie, and you're going to, me and Reagan and Mr. River over in the quiet corner, we're all going to be in Greenville the 21st through the 23rd of March. And tickets.
Watch out, Greenville.
Watch out, Greenville. We rocked it last night. What did you think of the conference? Just speak to that. Well, you spoke at it, but the little bit of time because you were on the road. But
I guess the part about the conference I was most angry about is I couldn't be there for the entire time. Yeah. But that was because I didn't have freedom to be there. Let's go back to that conversation.
You're making good money, but you don't have the freedom.
Well, I mean, you know, I just couldn't do everything, right? So, you know, but I enjoyed it. I know they didn't enjoy me.
No, they did. But I was the only one they asked not to come back.
So, but no, it was good. You know, and so, but I think really there, you know, as I see from even conferences that I help us put on.
Right.
You know, it was a well-run one. You know, it was.
Would you believe 23 out of the 25 that came, their business this year since has exploded?
Well, I think that speaks for itself.
It's just exploded.
Right.
I mean, it is just, and to be honest with you guys, and Michael knows me, and so he can verify what I'm saying, this type of business as far as doing a conference and organizing it is not in my wheelhouse.
Just be glad you're not his neighbor for about 3 months until after March. And I'm just his counselor. I become his counselor for a few, and he may ask those detailed questions to me, but that's okay because everyone.
It's just not me, man.
Everyone has their strengths, right?
Well, I say that just to say, had this thing not been so wildly successful and lucrative for everybody, I would not be doing it again.
Sure.
Because I did not enjoy putting it on.
Right.
I enjoyed being there. I enjoyed doing it. I enjoyed being around the people. I loved it. But, man, it was the most stressful thing I have ever done.
Well, I get it.
Because it's not my thing.
Right. Well, you know,
where of detail.
Where I work, I'm thankful for a team that does these.
Yeah.
Sometimes we just have to give them the content, and we have to show up. You don't have that ability. You have to get all the details around it and so forth.
Event plan. Well, I do. I'm starting. Chris is coming in.
Right.
We're going down there Thursday to finalize on the room. We'll be sending out everybody that has signed up for it. You'll be getting an email by the end of this week on more details as far as.
And you got some registration help.
We got some registration help. Miss Callie's helping. Thank you so much.
And for detail oriented.
There you go.
That's right. She's done this before.
She's done this a time or two. So we're going to have, I've got a great support team, that's for sure. But Gary's right. You guys, I'm telling you, the greatest money you'll ever spend is on yourself and investing in yourself in your personal growth. And let me just implore you, before you go buy another flat screen TV or a couple $100 sneakers, put some money in yourself, even if it's not with me. But, you know, you are worth more. You are worth more. You're worth putting time, money, investment in your personal growth because the world's changing. Technology's changing. The environment's changing as far as what we work in. And if you're not on top of what's going on, you're going to be left behind. And I just read a report today that, about 1/6 of the economy in the next decade is going to be in 1/6 of the workforce is going to be in trouble. And I can tell, and I didn't think about it until I read this report. But is all of this stuff with Tesla and automated cars and all this, that's all great for us consumers. That,
sure.
But you know who it's really going to put people out of work? Truck drivers.
Right.
UPS, FedEx.
Well, and it was a commercial like in a movie theater or something crazy like that. But there was also one that goes around, it's probably on TV too, that says there's a lot of jobs that, let's say, people in high school, college are doing, or the people in high school and college today.
Right.
The jobs they'll be doing don't even exist right now.
Yeah, I can,
which is the crazy thing.
Totally.
But in the end, I think that's what points to this too.
You got to, and so when you come to this conference, we're going to be talking about mindset, getting our thinking right, and we're going to be talking about skill set. Here's how you do this. Here are some tools. Here's some software. Here's some technical skill sets. Here's some communicational skill sets. Every time I've gone to one of these quote unquote business conferences, it's either really long on mindset and short on skill set, or really long on dry and boring on all this technical stuff, but no mindset, no inspire. We're going to be informative. We're going to be inspiring, and we're going to be illustrative. We're going to show you what to do. That's our goal, and we did it this past year, and with great success. And I'm telling you, if the tickets are only $397, I mean,
and if you get a few extra minutes, you can drive down the road to Clemson and visit a holy place. That excuse me, I had to put that in there for a second.
Mute microphone, mute channel on board.
Anyway, off topic there.
Yeah,
that's what
Michael, we're gonna
for.
have to hide your chat here. I'm sorry.
Hide your chat, but I'm telling you, you're not going to be around people that's coming in private jets saying you can get rich tomorrow. But you are going to be around average Joes like me and Michael, like Gary and Mark and Lindsay and Jane and Angela. And you're going to see people just like you that is making a huge difference in their life. I mean, Mark just came on this year, and he's on a 12-month pattern to make about
last year.
Last year, he has 2019 now. But he was an attendee at the conference. He's speaking at this one.
Sure.
And he's making $120,000 this year. Okay, and for $397, you can't get a college degree for that. You can't name one thing that you can invest $397 in and potentially get that kind of return that quick. It just don't. I'm not saying everybody you're gonna. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying it's there. It's proven. People can do it. And if you want to bring your spouse, Gina, it's only $97 extra to bring your spouse, and so they can get in as well. But I'm telling you, it's worth every penny. And like Quackenbush said, some things are taught and some things are caught. You know that story, don't you?
I don't think I know this one.
So I'll tell this and we'll end.
What I do like about this, I'm just going to disclaimer before we start this. This used to be like a censored story. We didn't actually give away the name or anything. We just...
Yeah, we've gotten real loosey-goosey.
We sort of just left this...
We'll leave the censored stories to one that I'm involved in.
Right, sure.
No, I don't mind. I don't mind telling this one. So I didn't want to say it because I just didn't think it was appropriate, but the more I thought about it, it's just funny. It might be inappropriate, but it's funny. So if you don't laugh at this and don't think it's funny, I apologize. I'm not trying to be offensive, but it's funny. So Callie, have you ever laughed at something and it cost you, what was my commission on that? I think it was $1,000.
Oh, I think I know this one. I know this story now that you're getting a little bit into it.
So this lady calls me up a few years ago now. It's 3 or 4 years ago. I'm in your shopping cart and I want to buy this, and I can't seem to get checked out. And so I'm going into the back office looking in my shopping cart trying to figure out. And I said, well, ma'am, what's your last name? And she said, Quackenbush. And I said, you say what? And she said, her first name, Quackenbush. And I said, no, seriously. And when I said seriously, because I thought she was joking, I honest to Pete thought this lady was just telling me a joke. And she said, I just think this is highly unprofessional. And she hung up, and it was. It's totally.
It was actually.
Totally.
It was super unprofessional.
But man, it was funny.
Well, we got to be ready for anything.
And so, and I apologize to her today if she's out there, but Mark hears the story. And so now every single time he has an enrollment, he don't even put his name in the enrollment form. It's Quackenbush.
That makes sense.
So
keep it alive.
Keep it alive. Guys, this has been TerryWilson3.com. We're talking about making your dream a reality. It really can. Mark is turning his dreams into reality. Gary is buying a third or fourth boat by now, greenbacks down there, and he's making his dream a reality. Lindsay bought a land yacht and now is making her dreams a reality. It's there for the taking. I mean, this old boy from North and South Carolina and Georgia that can barely conjugate a verb and
still laughs at names like Quackenbush.
Still laughs at Quackenbush and things of that nature, and it's just totally unprofessional. Totally can't add or subtract, can't read or write. Has made a decent living. So I'm telling you guys that the deal is real. We give you the training to be able to achieve your goals, your dreams. If you're willing to put in the time and the effort, it's there. But it's not done for you. It's not a genie in a bottle. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. But it is obtain wealth as quickly as possible on your schedule if you'll be willing to do it. So the next time, thank you guys for. Did everyone like the chat? Did this work?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bam Bam's on. He says laugh out loud. So I think he's having a good time.
I guess everyone's behaved themselves on the chat.
Has everybody behaved themselves tonight? Levon, good to have you on tonight. Good to see you. Christy, thank you for thinking that's funny. Melody, I hope you thought it was funny too. And Greenbacks, the comedy show. I like it. I'm sorry, Gary.
Hey, I the last comedy show I attended, that was probably a little more funnier than some of the people we saw that evening.
Yeah. What was the name of that? The Cellar?
The Comedy Cellar.
The Comedy Cellar in New York.
Yeah. So we won't get into the details of the actual comedians.
She wasn't.
But 5 out of 6 was good.
Yeah, but she was on Letterman and all these other shows.
But you sent me the video of Letterman.
She wasn't funny.
And Callie and I both agreed, no.
She wasn't funny there.
So I'm not quite sure how she's gotten to where she is, but that's fair. I guess everyone has
everybody's got their own thing.
Their own taste of what they like to listen to.
So. Well, guys, get over to worthmoreconference.com. Worthmoreconference.com. If you want to make an investment in yourself, I'm telling you, that's the place to do it. Get with your trainers. They can get you tickets. If you've got an elite trainer or recruiter that you're working with, they can help you out on that as well. But I'm telling you, we've got just a few tickets left. If you want to get in, you need to get in because as one person said, it was life-changing. Another person, Spears, Joe, he retired with, I don't know how many restaurants that guy owned, and he said he's been to conference after conference. It's the best conference I've ever been to, Terry. And so I don't say it because it's mine. I'm just saying what other people have said. And so you can definitely make a lot of money doing TW3, but you just got to get in and use it. Until next time, this is Terry. Talk to you guys later.
Thank you for listening to our show today at TerryWilson3.com. If you would like more information on how we can take your money, your business, and your life to the next level, then please visit us online at TerryWilson3.com or call 800-673-1728.
This is the Terry Wilson. Really? I'm excited, Terry. I want to get started here.
Is this a celebrity, Terry Wilson? Oh, my word. How you doing, sir? Dude, don't even go there. I've been listening to this for a while, and I'm finally like, okay, guys, what a privilege. I mean,